All right. What's up, party people? My name's Zach. For those of you who don't know me, I'm with my buddy DJ Paroongsup, and just wanted to jump on the live stream really quick and share with you guys our experience and DJ's experience with TurboText. A lot of you are already members and you're using it and you're booking appointments, and that's awesome. Some of you are brand new or haven't even sent out your first text blast yet. So we just want to share with you guys our experience and any tips, tricks, strategies to book as many appointments, squeeze as many appointments out of your lead list with TurboText. So how it came about was, as you guys know, I'm an agent myself. I have called a bunch of people on my list, and you guys, as you know, we do dial day, and we dial through our list, and tons of people don't answer. A lot of leads we've paid for, we purchased, they just don't answer phone calls. So I realized, like, okay, well, we should be texting them as well and not just calling them. And that's when I partnered up with Mr. Matt Proud. He is a marketing guru when it comes to different types of marketing strategies, and we put something together custom built for FFL that will maximize that list you have and squeeze as many appointments as possible out of it. So I wanted to have DJ on here. He's actually the guinea pig, the first guy I brought into FFL and the first TurboText user. And I want to just ask him a few questions and get his feedback and experience with it so far, and anything he can share with you that will help you guys book more appointments. So with that, so DJ, tell us a little bit about your first initial impression when you got TurboText set up. You sent out let's say you sent out your first blast. What was your initial impression right after you sent out that first blast, and any thoughts or feelings of the platform itself?
Yeah, so the first blast I sent out was kind of great because I had already had a bunch of old leads. I think they were maybe like 2 or 3 month old leads, but at that time they were probably like 5, 6, maybe even 7 month old leads at that point. So I know that, I wasn't going to be able to get back to dialing through them. Probably wasn't going to be able to get around to door knocking them and kind of sorting through them and stuff like that. So it was maybe like around 100 to 150, something like that for the first blast I sent out.
Okay.
And it was cool just because right away I was getting responses, whether it was like yes or no. People were actually like replying, whereas like maybe some of these leads I dialed, I'm getting hung up on. They're, not even wanting to talk to me. So even having an interaction through text where, it had templates built in that I could rebuttal was kind of cool because it gave me like another shot, or maybe even a better shot of booking an appointment with someone that was never going to answer the phone in the first place. But yeah, I had a couple people that said like, yes, just straight up, plain and simple. From the main campaign template, it's pretty much saying, were you looking for insurance for yourself or for a family member? And I had a few people just reply like, for myself. And to me, that's just like pretty much, a green light as far as like getting an appointment, setting up an appointment with them, and then probably they're a buyer, if they're answering a text message about specifically insurance, and if they're looking for it and they're saying yes. And it, if anyone's not familiar with like the main initial campaign blast, it's got a nice short, sweet little script. It's kind of to the point. They know who I am. They know why I'm reaching out. They know what they're getting if they proceed to have that text conversation with me. So yeah, just getting those first initial responses, yes and no, was kind of cool.
Right.
Just because I'm hearing back, even I'm getting told no. I'm getting told no through a text message. To me, is like more resolving a lead than never getting a chance to door knock them.
Right.
Never getting to answer the phone whatsoever. So it was super cool.
That's really cool. It weeds out people really fast because you'll know right away if they're a yes or a no. And like what is it, like 90% of people are going to actually read their text messages. They're going to be curious. They want to know what it says. And it's nice when you get that interest right away. So the way I look at it, it's like casting a net. After you've dialed through them, you cast a net through that whole batch, and all the fish float to the top. all the interested prospects float right to the top, and they're interested. It's like a immediate, yeah, they at least are somewhat interested, and they want a policy for them, their family, and that gives you the chance to either call them right away, continue a text conversation, or door knock them because they're interested, they need it, and it's really convenient that way. Where just one extra appointment or 2 extra appointments a week, that changes your business. As you guys know, a sale could be anywhere from a couple $100 to, my buddy Connor just sold a $6,000 sale yesterday. So it's like it's a scratch off ticket. You never know. And that one extra appointment could be from a TurboTax. So tell us, DJ, after you sent your first blast, how long was it till you booked an appointment? And then how long was it till you sold an appointment?
Yeah, so just started. I think my first blast was maybe the beginning of this month, if I'm remembering correctly, like July 1st, I think, just because I was looking back at some. But
yep,
had a couple that I actually started. No, it had been like towards the last week of June. So because I booked, I think my first appointment, guy was like, "Yes, that's what I'm looking for." Just plugged in all the templates. It was super simple. Come
yep.
on over. I gave him the options for the dates, booked a date. I didn't end up selling that one. Came down to he was in his mind thought he had, or had a term policy and was, old enough now really to only qualify for whole life. So there's that kind of price differential gap.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't get the same amount of coverage he was used to paying for. Which was understandable. He's kind of still like on my follow-up list though, which is kind of cool. But then my second appointment was really cool because this guy reached out. He's like, yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for, but good luck getting me covered. I have cancer. I have this issue, terminal illness, all this stuff. Plug in a template. Perfect. That's exactly, why I want to come over. Just following the templates again. Long story short, I'm in the home with the guy, sit down with him, end up closing the sale. And that was my first TurboTax sale, and it was I forget what it was, but over 2,000. I want to say it was like 2,100, maybe 2,200 or something like that.
Wow.
And,
yeah,
this
not bad.
In particular, I had some other phone call booked appointments that either got no-showed or I sat down and didn't sell them. So had I not had this TurboTax appointment, it would have been, a goose egg for the day. I would have gone home without, any AP. But this
right.
TurboTax appointment felt even cooler because the guy was, he's like, yeah, you're not going to be able to help me, but this is what I'm looking for. So it was super easy to book. He knew exactly why I was coming there. And, as we do as producers, show him the stuff that they can qualify for. And he was on
right.
board. So yeah, it was huge.
Right. The job at TurboTax is just to get you in the door, and then it's the producer's job to do the rest. But really, that's where it gives you more swings, more at bats. And that's awesome. So
yeah.
Cool. And what I've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed this as well, when someone books via text, my no-show rate is a lot lower. And Matt pointed this out to me when I was bringing that up to him. He's like, well, yeah, it makes sense because on the phone, when we're booking quick appointments, there's a little pressure there, and people will book with you because they feel a little under pressure. Over a text, they have time to think things through. And if they're going to book with you, they have a high interest level. They're a very, very hot lead, and they don't feel pressured, and they're probably going to be home. And I've had really good luck. I've only had maybe one no-show, but it turned into a reschedule from TurboTax, which is nice because you guys know how fun no-shows are, So if we can avoid those, that's even better. So with TurboTax, it doesn't replace dialing, but it's a supplement to where the way I look at it, we dial through our leads, and then after we've dialed through them all, we want to resolve everyone because there's a family out there that needs our help, but they just didn't answer a random number they didn't recognize. So we resolve all our leads by doing a text blast, by doing at least a text blast of 100 leads, I would recommend. If you do a text blast of 100, you're going to generate interest from like 5 to 8 of those people, and then you might book 2 to 3 or 1, even if it was 1. After you've already dialed through them all. I mean, one appointment makes a big, big difference. So that's cool. Now, when it comes to like the back dashboard of TurboTax, where you have the pipeline, right? and things like that. Have you been using the pipeline to tag each lead as interested or not interested or no show or sold? Have you been using that pipeline, and has that been helpful for you?
Yeah, it's super easy just because, I mean, it's really like a drag and drop feature. So if someone replies yes, essentially saying that, yeah, that's what they're looking for, they reply something that it seems like they're going to want to move forward with interest. I can kind of move them along, and just depending if I need to follow up with them. A lot of the time, I think what most of the appointments I've had, it's been in like a short window. Once they first give that initial contact, then it's pretty quick back and forth to getting the appointment set up, which is cool.
Cool.
But then recently, I'd say, just yesterday, the last couple of days, you kind of forget about the whole campaign and how long they go on for with the follow-ups, because I'm getting messages saying no, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay, this is a campaign I sent out from July 1st. It's like what, the 28th or yesterday, and I'm looking back, I'm like, okay, this is from a campaign from the 1st, and I look and I see that it's on the 6th or 7th message. But then also I had like 2 or 3 people yesterday that were replying like, yes, that's what I'm looking for. And I looked back, and it was either July 1st or July 15th campaign that they're just now getting back to me, and I'm actually setting an appointment with them, even though this is something that, I started weeks ago or even a month ago at this point. So TurboTax has, just been, like I said, doing the heavy lifting to get me in the door, and I'm focused on booking new appointments on the phone. TurboTax is just kind of rolling in the background, doing its thing, and already have, I think for the next 2-day run days, I have like 2 or 3 TurboTax appointments on there. So
that's awesome. Yeah, you sent me some screenshots yesterday, and I was like, cool. TurboTax doing the work. TurboTax is doing the work for him in the background, and it's following up for him. And you always hear, if you're in sales, the fortune is in the follow-up. And a lot of these clients, they realize you're following up, you care, you're consistent, and they respect you for that. And I've had responses back from clients saying, hey, I give you an A+ for follow-up for being persistent. And I've been able to book with them because it sends out text periodically throughout the month. And it doesn't overdo it. It just does it in a way that we strategized it through lots of testing of when to send a text, whether it's 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, a week later. And it's set up in a way where it's not overdoing it. It's not harassing the client, but it's consistently following up. So that's really cool. You're booking appointments even when you're not doing anything. It's just doing it for you. So that's super awesome. And I appreciate you being the guinea pig to be one of the first users. And I know within 24 hours after you sent out your first blast, or one of the blasts you sent out, you were able to sell that $2,000 AP one. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it was quick.
What would you say? Let's say we'll wrap it up here soon. But what would you say to someone who is looking at TurboTax as a potential tool to use that hasn't sent out the first blast yet? Is it worth the investment? Is it, what would you say to someone brand new? And what tips or tricks would you have for them from your experience so far?
Yeah, I mean, definitely worth the investment. I think most people that are kind of in the same field or even with the same IMO are still utilizing, the phone burner program, and understand, time is of the essence. And I think that's huge with TurboTax because it's doing all that for you. It probably would have taken me like a week to send out a message individually to each person and then to try to follow up with them. And, it would have been like a hot mess, but just even one sale, kind of the same thing. It essentially paid for TurboTax for the next 2 years already, and now anything else that I'm doing from it, it's already paid itself off. And super nice. One thing I want to touch on real quick is all the templates in it are super super cool. I've barely had to kind of customize them. I think really just depends. They said they gave this rebuttal, but they added this little thing into it, so I adjusted it a little bit. But the rebuttals are kind of formatted super simple, and I've been able to book appointments off of some of the rebuttals too, where they say no thank you. I click on the template that says, click this if they said I've already gotten taken care of. Send that message over, and then they're telling me why that they think they already got it taken care of, and boom, just hit the next template, and all of a sudden I'm just back to booking the appointment. And yeah, super,
Right.
super simple,
Right.
worth the investment. I think more people than me, since I'm fairly new, July is my first full-time month, that I know that a lot of other agents probably have hundreds, maybe even thousands of old leads that they're
In their
not
CRM, yeah.
they're not given to new agents. They're not door knocking. They're not going back and calling. So, I mean, you really have nothing to lose to just plug all these in and, you know, like you said, squeeze the juice out of them, but really maybe find 1, 2, 3, 5 families out of 100 that still need help, but like you said, are maybe apprehensive to answering the phone, but they're willing to book over a text.
Mm-hmm.
And I think without TurboText, people have probably had at least one interaction where they were talking to someone on the phone and they're like, yeah, well, maybe text me. And they ended up texting through their personal cell. They probably booked an appointment for the same reason, because they're more likely to book over text. And I know that there's just a lot of other agents that probably have, you know, hundreds and thousands of leads that they could do a blast for. And if they get, you know, 5 or 10 out of 100, then, you know, that's just more families protected. And yeah, just let TurboText do that heavy lifting. So super, super awesome tool. Love it.
Cool, man. Yeah. I appreciate your feedback, your experience so far. I know it's a fairly new tool. We're going to make it better and better. It's only going to improve from here. Dialing in the campaigns even more, creating new campaigns, testing. I'm always testing, just to make this as valuable as possible for the and affordable as possible for the newest agent or an experienced agent. I know I talked to a guy from I think it was the North Carolina office today, and he was super stoked. One of the bigger leaders over there. I was talking to him for a while, and he created an account. And he was excited and ready to roll, and he's going to share with the rest of his office, because, you know, everyone can benefit from this. Everyone can benefit from leveraging a tool. And like you said earlier, you know, why not save yourself time using leverage, and not just trying to do it all on your own. Manually texting would take forever. We all know texting works, but that's a tool that will leverage that. So I'm excited. We're just getting started with this thing. Like I said, we're going to continue to improve it. I'm going to bring on other agents, and so we can give you guys more tips and tricks and help you book as many appointments as possible using this. We're going to host trainings on this page. So if you have friends or other agents that you want to invite to this group, feel free to invite them. We're here to help them. And even if they're not already a user, they can hang out in the group, see all the results, all the screenshots of everyone getting appointments booked. And I'm going to be able to share with you guys as many strategies and tips on how to book more appointments. Yeah, like DJ said, just follow the templates, and just, you know, be consistent with it. Send out a blast every week after you dial through. Send out a blast Monday. After you dial through on Thursday, send out a blast at the end of the day. You can schedule a time to send them out, so it's not like at midnight. That's probably not the time you want to do it. You want to do it maybe from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. around that time, and just be consistently sending out text blasts, and you're going to see results. Guaranteed to see results. I do a lot of instance, a lot of 1 month, 2 month, 3 months. Those work really, really well. Instance work the best probably for booking the most appointments. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. But like I said, thanks again, DJ, for hopping on, sharing your experience so far. I know we're just getting started with this thing. There's going to be lots of success stories with this tool. I'm excited to make it better and better. FFL just keeps getting better and better. And any way I can add to it or provide value or help other people protect more families, I'm excited about that. So thanks for tuning in, guys. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. If you don't already have TurboText yet, there's a free account. If you see that at the bottom, 14-day free trial, 30% off with the coupon code 30FFL. Get an account created, test it out for yourself. Come into the group, ask questions if you get stuck on something. There's training videos. We're going to provide as many resources as possible for you guys to succeed with this. So with that, like I said, thanks again, DJ. I look forward to you booking and selling and closing more appointments. And thanks for tuning in, guys. See you later.
Later, guys.